The problem really, I think, is how does anybody really find out how it did start when there was all this controversy about the things that the ministry have done before it, 6 weeks before it even started. The firms they contacted, that they supposedly all they were doing was updating their information of what they would need if there was a foot and mouth outbreak. How anybody would find that out, the truth out of that, I just don't know. I think a lot of people have the theory that they knew there was something going to happen before it happened, and how and why they knew this, that's what we'd like to know, and whether anybody will be honest enough ever to say so, we very much doubt it. I don't think we'll ever know, even when we get the public or private inquiry into it, which there'll be at the end of it all. We'll never learn the truth as to what has really happened. And to think of the number of livelihoods that it's affected, at the end of the day, it's a serious situation to be in, really, when you get to the point when you can't trust people.
I went to a funeral last Friday. He was a local farmer and he'd suffered from cancer for 18 months. They were going to slaughter his sheep on the way to Belbusk, but they'd held out. They knew he hadn't long to live, so they'd held out. Anyway, as soon as he died, they slaughtered them the day after. So I went to his funeral the other day. There'd be 250 people in church. Of the farming community that went that day, 3/4 of the farmers would have lost animals. The land needs grazing. It needs animals on it to graze, and the reason everywhere around here looks like it does is because it's well maintained, well managed, and it's the number of animals on it that keep it like this. There's very few animals left around here. What you have to go through that day, you wouldn't wish on anybody. It's the worst day of my life. And I've told anybody who still has their animals, that day they want to get as far away as possible from it all. And just come back when all the animals have gone. Because it's barbaric.
Great is the mystery of faith.
Christ has died, Christ is risen, Christ will come again.
Lord of all life, help us to work together for that day when your kingdom comes and justice and mercy will be seen in all the earth. Look with favour on your people, gather us in your loving arms, and bring us with all the saints to feast at your table in heaven.
Amen.
Down in the pen at the bottom of the field, in front of us there, is where the sheep cull took place. On Thursday evening, Friday morning, they came along to cull the cattle. these sheep were pushed sideways with bulldozing vehicles to make a track through for the cattle to come out, which at that time were going to be walked half a mile down into the next village. Obviously, walking through where dead sheep were, they were picking blood, possible foot and mouth virus up on the feet, which was going to contaminate road en route down to Ayrton. At that stage, they walked them further along this track up towards the village, and at this stage the Ministry of Agriculture stopped this happening for some unknown reason, and the men on the ground were left with these cattle stuck in this lane, which is also a bridle there, until people of authority made decisions on what was going to take place. At that stage, the cull took place actually in the lane, which, as I say, is a bridle there, and these roughly 150 cattle were shot in this lane, which was adjacent to our own farmland, which at that stage was clean from foot and mouth, which obviously is very concerning, these animals actually breathing and then being culled, as there were blood splashed on walls and on lane surface, which I might add is still there to this day, which is 8 days later.
The officials, particularly the army, seem to know in advance of where they're going to be. And we're not talking days here, we're talking weeks. A particular army officer I spoke to last week knew that their standing orders 2 weeks prior to him being here. We now find that we have officials staying in Bolton by Bowland, and they've been booked in for weeks in advance. I only learned last night that there are several MAF personnel staying in Grassington. There's no outbreak in Grassington, but there will be. You can almost guarantee it.
We heard over a week ago things were going to head up towards Grassington. Well, the first case arrived last night in Thorpe, which is on the way. We heard definitely down the Ribble Valley. We heard that 2 weeks ago. There's too many things that we've heard that happened sort of 10 days to a fortnight later.
The way that they shut areas up, close them off, there just doesn't seem any sense in closing a road for a week or a fortnight where it's being done. This is what makes it a little bit sinister in a way, or mysterious. What is going on? The way that the press have treated it, or